You know, there's just something incredibly inspiring about those magical sounds from a golden era of music. An era that dreamt of the future, not knowing it was creating the timeless echoes of an iconic past. And here we are, 40 years on, where walls of exclusivity crumble to pieces, and the sounds that made history are within anyone's grasp. Introducing a rebirth of a legend. So the Behringer saga of reimagining the world's most classic drum machines and bringing them into the long-awaited realms of affordability continues, with our most ambitious drum machine project to date, introducing the highly anticipated LM Drum. An irresistibly vintage-style 8 to 12-bit sampling drum machine that channels the nostalgic character of 1980s EEPROM-based classics and merging it with the power and convenience of modern-day sampling technology. And the story of how it came about really begins in 2019, when Uli's love of restoring vintage synthesizer history finally got the better of him during an auction of what seemed to be just some very worn out and dusty vintage synthesizers. But this wasn't just any auction, this was for the actual instruments used in some of the most iconic records of the 1980s by a British duo that used the likes of the Prophet 5, the Linn Drum, and mixed them with their unforgettable guitar riffs to catapult themselves to the top of the American Billboard. Of course, we're talking of the legendary band Tears for Fears. And when Uli suggested we make some videos of them, we couldn't contain our excitement. I mean, it's not every day you get to play with an instrument that you'd normally see behind glass in a hard rock cafe. And upon driving to the warehouse and looking at a pile of some old, rusty and well-travelled flight cases, there was one that instantly just stood out. The holy grail of vintage drum machines, the Linn Drum. And we all know it, we all love it. Designed and created by a pioneer of 1980s musical instruments and beyond, a legend of the industry, Roger Linn. Starting with the LM1, he soon followed it up with the Linn Drum, also colloquially known as the LM2, and the unmistakable drum sounds they produced proliferated into the biggest records of all time. Perhaps most famously on Michael Jackson's world #1 selling album Thriller. Produced by Quincy Jones, with the drum and synth programming being done by one of the most respected synthesizer musicians in the space today, Anthony Marinelli. And of course, it doesn't stop there. Prince's love of the LM1 has become legendary, with it being the driving force behind Purple Rain, and also for other groundbreaking artists of the day like Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, Midge Ure of Ultravox, Herbie Hancock, Giorgio Moroder, Vince Clarke, Vangelis, and it even played a big role in early hip-hop with the likes of Run DMC. So it really is a drum legacy steeped in history, which is why we were so keen to restore not only a great vintage instrument in the Linn Drum, but this amazing relic of 1980s Tears for Fears history that featured on their unforgettable hits like Everybody Wants to Rule the World and the brilliant Shout. And the restoration video was so well received. Upon looking at the feedback, the message from you guys was loud and clear. No holding back. We want those sounds, we want the vintage bitrate, and we want to be able to to afford it.